Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM22 story, The Head Coach, with me, Daniel. We're back today for part 114 with Real Madrid, and we face Sevilla in the Spanish Cup semi-final second leg as we edge closer to our first trophy at the club. We also go away to Real Sociedad in the Liga, who are in 4th place and did beat us last time around, and reflect on what's been happening in a crazy last couple of months here, which of course includes the transfer window from January and a big decision that we've made personally. But firstly, if you're looking forward to this one, please do chuck a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content. Links to the Hem will save in the eye above, as well as the Twitch channel, football podcast, and the merchandise store too. And finally, you can support the show as a channel member by clicking the join button down below. But I start with a quick apology because we're on a backup camera today. Unfortunately, our first webcam failed, so I'm slightly darker and grainier than normal, but it will only last a couple of days and we will be back to normal. The other side is, I've made a big decision. And that decision is, if we manage to hold on and win the La Liga title with Real Madrid this year, which with 3 points clear, it's now a 2-horse title race, and Barcelona are as expected coming on strong. If we hold on, I'm going to end the series because it shouldn't be that easy. If we obviously don't win it, then maybe we'll go another year and try and reclaim the crown. But it depends what happens in other competitions. But for me, if we win the La Liga title this year, that probably has to be it. What we have had though, since we were last here, is a huge amount of action on and off the pitch. Let's start with the January transfer window, because we were linked and were about to sign a youngster called Leclerc. Well, he rejected us and went to Manchester City, which meant in the January window, we didn't bring in anyone for the first team. We got a slightly familiar face from Manchester United, Brendan Keane, out of the youth team for 220 grand. Realistically, he's not ever going to be much help to us, so that one was pretty pointless anyway. In terms of outs though, we did lose another first teamer, Unai Alonso, who was signed for big money in the summer. Wasn't really worth it, has gone out on loan, and he's now playing in Liga. He's a decent player, but yeah, he probably needs the football, in fairness to him. So when you consider that Devin Wrench and him left the club, no first teamers in, it does weaken us slightly, and we've had to rely on youth players from time to time during the last couple of months. We've had some good luck, we've had some interesting results, and we've had some dodgy moments too. So let's go and have a look at the schedule and see what's been happening. So you were with me for defeating the Super Cup semi-final and the win against Valladolid. We've played absolutely bucket loads of games since then, and largely been able to get victories. We were held in one league game, and then there's one match we've got to talk about in particular. So, since you were last with me, firstly, we won 6-3 after extra time against Burgos in the Spanish Cup third round. It was almost a shock. Martinelli pulled us back level in the 69th minute. We were useless in that game. Samurio and Way, two of the youngsters, came on in extra time, and in the end, produced the goods to get us over the line. Atletico Pamplona, Osasuna otherwise known, were the next opponents. A 2-0 win away there, Altmaier and Martinelli getting the goals. A 3-0 win at Malaga with Kalantari's brace and Altmaier. A 6-1 win at home to Valencia. Altmaier's hat-trick, Vinicius Jr. with 2 and Marcos Antonio with 1. A 2-0 win, a much more comprehensive one against Getafe in a quarter-final of the Cup. That was Altmaier and Militao. And in fact, I think I missed there, didn't I? The Bilbao game. 0-0 in the Cup, we won on penalties, one big save from Vulca Farinez late on. But we weren't great in the Spanish Cup. We then beat Granada in the league 4-0, Vey got one off the bench again after Martinelli's hat-trick, and then a 1-0 win in the first leg of this tie at home to Sevilla, which means in the second leg, it's all to play for away from home. Kalantari got the goal there, it was a decent performance, but defensively we had to put in a lot of work. Away at Vallecano, it was a 2-2 draw. It was Altmaier and Kalantari with the goals there, but we couldn't take advantage, despite coming back from 2 down, of the 10 men that we played against for the last quarter. They were really resolute, Vallecano. A 2-0 win at Celta Vigo with Kalantari and Vinicius Jr. getting the goals. Then the surprise of the day. Now, this looks like another one of those, is FM22 too easy? Because late on we pulled away, 2 goals from Kalantari, 1 from Vinicius. Do you question the squad management of the AI, the fatigue management? Do you perhaps question the tactical changes? Well, we have to give them a little bit of slack in this one, because if we go and have a look at the stats for the game, you will be surprised. Because our expected goals was less than 2, City's was more than 2. They had more shots, more on target, the same possession, more corners. I mean, virtually everything was in their favour. And I don't know, in the last 20 minutes, we just took every half chance against us. They're a better side. They were brilliant on the night. The difficulty is that Robble had to come off after an hour because he was knackered. And he is better than any of our players. But he didn't really look great late on after they've made their subs. So that's something perhaps to bear in mind. But 5-2, we were incredibly fortunate. And it was just one of those days where everything went in. We then won 2-0 at home to Espanyol. Martinelli and youngster Roberto Bandera got the goals. I say youngster, I think he's well in his 20s. He is, he's 22, but he's a youngster in terms of first team experience. So we're going to give him that. We will obviously show the second leg of the Man City game next time out and Sevilla as well. And then we've got that big run of 3 games. Atletico, Almeria, Barcelona. I think that will decide the title. But at the moment, we have to beat what's put in front of us and we have to stay consistent. You can see from the league table that Barcelona have done so as well. And in fact, they've actually lost less games than us this year. It's just a few sneaky draws. They've got a better goal difference. They are being consistent. I'd imagine it won't be long before they try and topple us. And maybe that El Clasico will decide the title. We'll wait and see. Let's go and get through to the fixtures though. The first one is away at Sevilla. And we know if we win this Spanish Cup semi-final, it will be Barcelona again in the final. They beat us in the Super Cup. We struggled to hold them in the league. They are 4-0 up against Valencia. And they are certainly going to be going through. So what can we do to match it? That was the away leg. They won 4-0 as well. We're going to pick our strongest possible 11. We want to get through and get a trophy. Because if we do bottle the La Liga title, I at least want to say we've won something. So a sellout in Seville, you would expect that, of course. Will in real life be hosting the Europa League final tonight as this episode comes out. Come and join me on Twitch at 8 PM. We're going to be watching the game live. But this is the 11 we've gone for in our FM world to try and get to the Spanish Cup final. No Regueri yet. He's coming back from injury but hasn't quite made it. So that means we've got Vilca Farinez in goal. Sailmakers and Alfredo the fullbacks with Foyt and Militao as centre-half. Nianzou, Rihar, Antonio the midfield 3. And then Kalantari up front with Vinicius Jr. and Altmaier running either side of him. It is our strongest attacking line again. We are looking better than we were previously. I should say that Juan Foyt is starting to decline. You would expect so at the age he is now, 36. But they still keep offering them all new deals. We've talked about it in the comments in recent days. It's madness. But hopefully, if we are staying here for next season, there will be some fresh faces coming in. For now though, let's go and get into the first game. A big one away in Seville. But will it be cup heartbreak again? Will we bottle the trophy chance again? Or can we make it all the way to the Spanish Cup final? Let's go and find out. Well, it's 8 changes for us from the rested players in the last league game. But what have we got on the other front? Seville versus Real Madrid. Philip Clement in charge. Alexis McAllister and Morton Thorsby still there. Jules Koundé at centre-half, a player we may be seeing in the Premier League this summer in real life. But let's have a look at what the young stars and those experienced ones can do as we head into the second leg. After a very close first, we didn't get that big advantage we would have liked at the Bernabeu. But let's see what we can do here. Through the tunnel interview we go into the first half. Can the experienced boys do the job again? Or will we fall short in another semi-final? Well, we're going straight from the kickoff. I hope it's a good sign for us. Nianzou gives it to Antonio and Kalantari. Back to Marcos Antonio again. And he goes all the way to the keeper Farinez and Foyt. To Militao and Nianzou and Rihar. Out to the right to Altmaier. Through ball to Kalantari. In he goes one-on-one. Straight at the keeper. Not sure about that. That's not a good sign though. Vinicius Jr. up to him again. If we can get him behind a few times, we need him to score. Looks like they're playing 3 at the back here, Sevilla. Wing-back's very high. And McAllister getting his way down the left here. Cuts it inside to Thorsby. In towards Fressy. It's a brilliant through ball. And this time it's Sevilla's chance to miss a good opportunity. I think it was offside anyway. But regardless, it does stay 0-0. Valencia have got one back at Barcelona. And we've got an injury. What an inopportune time. Marcos Antonio off. Manuel will come on. Rihart will switch back to the Mazzala role. And we'll hope that there's no more to come. As we've got a short goal kick from Farinez to Foyt. Can we play out and create something spectacular? Militao. I fancy one goal and we're probably done here, but it's easier said than done as Sailmakers comes down the right, finds Altmaier. He's beaten to it, but it does win it back, only for Thorsby to come away with possession to Sol and Frazee. Back into the centre circle. The switch of play is not great though, and Altmaier can bring it away. He finds Sailmakers and Manuel. Down the right, no real pressure on him. Fresh legs into Kalantari. The keeper came, but he did not get anywhere near it. It was a beautiful pass from the substitute, and Kalantari makes the run, then just taps into the empty net. 1-0 Real Madrid, 2-0 on aggregate, and finally we might be heading to a cup final. Well, 5 minutes to the break. We've not seen much of the game since the goal, which can only be a good sign from our point of view. We could do with a professional, composed away performance here, though we are in possession. If we can get one more, we can definitely start to celebrate. As Militao goes back to Faranez. Happy to take his time and build from the back. Foyth brings it out, finds Nianzou, and Eder Militao to Foyth again. Wide to Alfredo on the left, finds Vinicius Jr. Can we get that through ball? Kalantari drops deep, tries to switch to Altmaier, is cleared away, and now McAllister brings it out for Sevilla, to Thorsby and Oscar. Manuel makes the challenge, but it falls for Thiago on the left-hand side. He cuts inside to Thorsby. Got a lot of time, about 30-40 yards out, haven't they? As Thiago gets down the left again. Cross in. Oh, my words. McAllister slides. He busts a gut to get there, in fairness to him. But he slides it into the corner of the net. It was perfectly placed. And at half-time, we're back worrying because it's 1-1 on the night, 2-1 on aggregate, and the deficit has been halved for Sevilla. So let's tell the lads to prove a point as we head into the second. I'm not entirely confident based on this, though. You can see from the stats, Sevilla just getting on top. And with an hour gone, I'm going to have to think about subs. We're looking towards the last 25 minutes with what players are going to be most tired, who's at risk of getting sent off, and what do we need to do to try and maintain the situation in this game. We don't want to get caught just playing defensively all the way through. Oh, Sailmakers, you idiot. Right, you're the first one. What on earth are you doing back there? So Foso's on for him. And then do we have to think because of injuries we can only make one more? Do we have to save it in case we get another knock? Do we go on fatigue? Or do we just take off Vinicius Jr. who's really struggling? I think that's the option. Martinelli will come on for him as Foyth heads just over the bar. So Martinelli, Sofoso, Manuel, the subs. I just hope they don't peg us back because in extra time I wouldn't fancy us. As they've got a free kick with one Foyth getting a yellow card at the same time. Please do not let this lead to something. It's McAllister again. Just tips over from Faranez. Great goalkeeping. But we're not great from defending set pieces. We've seen it a few times this year. As it's into the back post. Foyth does really well this time to head away. This is now a clinging on job. Sevilla 1-1. They're going to be pushing for the second goal. We're going to drop to a balanced mentality. Sit behind the ball. Make sure we don't get pegged back. And I think we're going to hold on. 4 minutes of stoppage time up. And with a 1-1 draw, we sneak through 2-1 on aggregate. But in neither leg were we really the better side. Barcelona will be the opponents. And at least we've got one cup final to look forward to at the end of the season. Gives us a second chance at a trophy as well. Fitness test time ahead of a big trip to Real Sociedad. We're at the end of a weekend where we've had a busy week. We've got players who are going to be struggling with fatigue. And we know that this is crucial for the title race. The only side that have beaten us at the Bernabeu so far. And now we go to their patch. They're looking to get back in the top 4. They're scrapping for their lives. And with Barcelona playing tomorrow night, they've got a game at home to Bilbao. We would expect them to get a victory and leapfrog us if we fall to defeat here. So let's go and get through the tactical meeting. We've got to close down Jeremy Frimpong, who we of course managed at Manchester United, our last club. We've also got to worry about the injury to Marcos Antonio. He's going to be taken out state for Manuel for the full 90. And then onto the bench, it's going to have to be Milenkovic, isn't it? What does that mean in terms of fitness across the board? Everyone else seems to be alright. Nianzou's got a heavy match load, but it's not too bad. And we've now got 6 days off before Levante away. But back-to-back difficult away games. Then we go to City in the Champions League. This is really not a good time to start picking up injuries. So let's go and get into the big weekend La Liga game and hope we can edge one step closer to a surprise title push. Well, a surprise manager in Gökhan Inler there. We know about Frimpong in the defence. Not many other recognisable names there. So I've got a feeling this is going to be a relatively young side. Let's go and tell the lads to prove a point, get them motivated for the first half. But we know that getting a result here is pivotal. I'd maybe even take a draw in the circumstance, but that probably puts too much pressure on us later in the year. Well, we're 5 minutes gone. We've got a throw on the right with Sailmakers, who is just getting back to fitness now. We've still got Sofoso behind him though, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him play a few more league games. As it's out to the right for Giovanni. This is a massive pitch. I immediately noticed one of the widest ones we've played all season, and they're getting in behind, so they must have a young side with a quick strike force. Look at the width. Frimpong's got it on the right hand side. No wonder this team suits him. Delivers to the back post. The keeper's in no man's land. Recovers well to save the second after the first hit the post. But the third one from Royo is into the empty net. Oh, this is going to be a long night. And we've got a goal kick with Farinez. Not even 10 minutes gone. And you just think our style of play isn't going to suit this. As Altmaier's pipped to that, Sailmakers wins it back. If Kalantari can get in behind, we've got a chance. But I'm not sure that's going to happen often enough, as Manuel goes long towards the wide area. Frimpong mops up. I'm sure he'll be determined to have a good game against us. He'll perceive that we sold him, even though it's the director of football at United. As Jose Manuel starts again for them. Plays long downfield, and they've got space in behind if they win the flick. Royo's won it. Foyth's been done. Oh, that's awful. Thankfully, Farinez comes to the rescue. Alfredo will get it away. I'm going to have to drop to balance because our normal style just isn't going to work here. And with a quarter of the game gone, we're back with Farinez in possession. Playing out to Foyth and Riha. To Manuel, over to Vinicius. First time we've got him behind their defence. He's one-on-one with a defender. It's a good save from Manuel. And Altmaier's rebound is blocked brilliantly by the left-back, who slid in to make sure it didn't reach the back of the net. And Altmaier will deliver the corner, headed away at the front post. Sailmakers will get there first though. And it just peters out. We didn't get to see it. Nearly half an hour gone. We've had most of the territory, but not a huge amount of the quality chances. As Nianzou finds Sailmakers again. Delivers from the right. Altmaier's up. That header's just over the bar. Much better. It's what we want to see. And now we've got another injury. Oh, God, this is going from bad to worse. The collapse is on the way. Cervantes will come on out there. We just need to get some pace and some width. And Cervantes, he's not the best player on the bench, but he's a natural winger. So that's what we're going for. As we're back with a throw on the left-hand side. 8 minutes to go to half-time. Vinicius plays back to Foyth. And wide to Alfredo. Still playing at left-back, of course. Chips it through to Kalantari. Beats his defender. That's what we needed. A moment of Arian Kalantari magic. He turns up, spins his defender and gets in behind. And with just a few minutes to go to the break, we're back on terms. Arguably, it's not deserved. Oh, at half-time, we've very much levelled the stats up and started to look an awful lot better. We're going to tell the lads to put on a worthy display. We hope that Cervantes can get in behind, use his pace and freshness. But with 10 minutes gone in the second half, there's not a great deal happening. So we are going to look at changes. Rehart being the first. He'll be replaced by Mamadou Koulibaly. And then Vinicius knackered on the left again. Gabriel Martinelli on for him. As Cervantes has the ball on the right hand side. Advanced position. Crosses in. Jose Manuel gathers it. And with a quarter of the game to go, this is anyone's game. This could be anyone's on the counter-attack. Almeida at left back for Sociedad. Vasquez and Torres play a 1-2 and it's wide to Almeida. Some nice football there. And they're trying to get in the top four. They're no mugs. They're one of those sides that we'd expect a tough game against. As Vasquez down the left loses it to Sailmakers. Cervantes can pick it up. Gives possession straight away. Not good enough. Tries to win it back, but then is too weak. Vasquez puts Royo in. And he skies it. Thankfully. Because that should have been 2-1. Poor chance to give away. But we get away with it. So we're back with Vasquez surging down the left for Sociedad again. Only a few minutes later, they're really pushing onto the front foot now. And maybe that younger side, it's sort of the effect we have with Hemel in the other save. That late on we can come strong in games. As Loza gets in behind Alfredo, the back four look absolutely knackered. Maybe we drop the defensive line. Do I accept a point as a good result? Well, it probably depends if this free kick goes in. Ruan will take it. Outswinger 30 yards. Oh, it's always that angle. Always that angle where it goes in. And with 12 minutes to go, we've now got to chase the game. And it might get worse. It might get heavier, the defeat. But we have got to try and get a point. Because at the moment, we're gifting the title to Barca. And maybe this is what we expected at the start. 3 minutes of stoppage time gone. And Real Sociedad complete the double over Real Madrid. Just about deserved. Expected goals would suggest they had the better chances. It wasn't good enough from our point of view. We've got a big job to bounce back. We go away to another European chaser next week, away in the Champions League the week after that. And we know that spell before the end of the season, we play Atletico, Almeria and Barca in a week, is going to decide the title. And at the moment, it doesn't make me confident. And this is even worse because Robert Altmaier, one of the few under 30s in the first team, is out for the season. And that might be the last game we see from him. This is a big, big problem now. We've got Antonio out for the next 2 games as well. Altmaier's out for the season. I don't know what we do. And look at the next episode we're going to show. Even if we get through in the Champions League, it's probably not our priority at the minute. Because the next episode in mid-April, forget the City game. We're 3 goals up, and if we get beat, we get beat. We are going to come back for a chance to win a trophy, to make something out the season. No Altmaier, but it will be Barcelona in the Spanish Cup final. Let's hope there's no repeat of the Super Cup result. And Atletico Madrid in the derby after that, in a game that could be crucial to the Spanish title race. If you're looking forward to that though, and you did enjoy a very disappointing episode overall, please do put a thumbs up on it. Let me know in the comments if you think we're going to win anything this year, because I can feel things sliding away. We haven't really got a great replacement on that right wing, and that's going to be a big issue for the next couple of months. Maybe a tactical change with Neto coming in, or a much weaker player in Cervantes. If you want to stay up to date and find out if we do cling on in any of the competitions though, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. Daily episodes from 2 long-term stories, with the Hemel save back tomorrow for a massive, massive occasion. And while you wait for those, in the eye above you can find links to the Twitch channel, the football podcast and the merchandise store too. But above my head now is a big recent episode from the Hemel save, and I'll see you again next time for the Spanish Cup final and a chance at silverware for the first time at Real Madrid. I'll see you there.